Congratulations on the purchase of your new handsome Fredward bike. Quite the specimen, if I may say so myself. I'm sure you're itching to put it together, so let's get started. This is Dan. He's going to take us through the whole process. Go ahead and wave to the camera, Dan. You see, Dan does what I say, and he's a pretty good listener. So this should be a cinch. He'll be covering the installation of your handlebars, front wheel, front brake, pedals, seat post, and all the final adjustments. All right, Dan, be extra careful and open the box with a pair of scissors. You should have a small box of parts and a partially assembled bike. Let's start by opening the small parts box. So what's inside? A saddle, a seat post, reflectors, reflector brackets and the bolts, pedals, pedal washers, end tip, straddle cable, and a front brake cable. If you can't find a part, look again. If you still can't find it, contact us at handsomecycles.com and we'll be sure to get this issue resolved. Using a bike stand, secure the back wheel in place and remove the packaging. If you do not have a bike stand, we encourage you to find a friend and help keep your bike stable. Move the rear brake cable to the side of the stem that is the non-drive side. Turn the fork and stem so that they are facing forward. Grab a 4mm Allen wrench and remove the stem faceplate. Center your handlebars in the stem, making sure that the cables are not twisted, and reinstall the faceplate. Don't tighten it all the way. Fine-tuning will happen later. All right, let's move on to the front wheel. Find the direction arrow on the side of the tire. This will tell you which way to install. Remove the plastic fork saver from the front dropout and place the front wheel in the fork. Center it by using the small hole in the fork crown right above the tire. Using a 15mm wrench, finish tightening the bolts. Dan, you're doing great. If you're having trouble, take it slow. And remember, you can pause at any time. Grab the front brake cable. Align the barrel adjuster on the brake lever so that you can slide the cable in. Hook the round metal end into the lever and pull the cable through. Align the cable hanger the same way. And then take the other end of the cable and slide it in and pull all the way down, like so. Then spin the barrel adjusters back so the cable doesn't come out. Now we're going to fit the straddle cable into the cable hanger. Slide the cable through the yoke and hook the round metal end of the straddle cable into the drive side brake arm and feed into the non-drive side brake arm. Now let's pull the brake pads all the way to the rim and tighten the bolt that secures the straddle cable. Make sure the cable is in the groove on the brake arm and that you maintain the cable tension while tightening. Then, squeeze the brake lever all the way to set the proper cable tension. Using the side cutter, clip the slack, leaving an extra inch, and place the metal tip at the end. And pinch with the pliers to secure in place. This will keep your cable from fraying. Check both brake pads and make sure they align with the rim. They should hit the braking surface of the rim and not make contact with the tire. And they should also be slightly tilted in so that the front of the pad hits the rim just before the rear does. If they don't align, use a 5mm Allen wrench to loosen the bolt on the brake pad, align to the rim, and retighten. If your brake pad doesn't hit the rim at the same time, adjust spring tension on the side of the brake with a 2mm Allen wrench. Your brake shouldn't feel too tight or too squishy, and both pads should hit the rim at the same time. If you're having any issues, please refer to our brake adjustment tutorial. How do they feel, Dan? Lovely. Pedals are left and right specific, so make sure you install the right pedal on the right side, the drive side, and the left on the non-drive side. Put one washer on each pedal, and then put a generous dab of grease on the threads. This next part is very important. Before you install, please note that the right pedal is regular threaded and the left pedal is reverse threaded. Now grab a 15mm wrench and install the pedals. You can install the pedals by simply backpedaling. If you encounter significant resistance or the pedal does not seem to be going on straight, back it off immediately and start again. Thread each pedal until completely tight with the wrench. Grab the grease and put a generous dab where the seat post will go. Use a 5mm Allen wrench to loosen the bolt on the seat post clamp and insert the seat post. Now grab a 6mm Allen wrench and loosen the bolt of the seat post. Pivot the top plate 90 degrees and place the seat rails in the grooves on the lower plate of the seat post. Then pivot the top plate back 90 degrees and tighten it back up. For all of our adjustments, we'll need a 4mm, 5mm, or 6mm Allen wrench. To find the proper height of your seat post, locate your pelvic bone or your hip bone and set it to that height. This is a good way to estimate where your seat should be as you ride, but it may need some fine-tuning. Once you have it set, sit on the seat and check your leg extension by pedaling backwards. When the pedal is at the bottom of the rotation, you should have a slight bend in your knees and never fully lock them out. Be careful during this step, as we haven't completely tightened everything down. Stand over the bike, taking hold of the handlebars. Loosen the faceplate bolt so the bars can move. Adjust them to your preference and retighten the faceplate, making sure the bars are still centered. To adjust the angle of the brake levers, loosen the bolts on the underside. They should be easy for you to reach while riding your bike. Once you have them set, tighten the bolts back up. One last check. Make sure everything is centered and aligned. Be sure to go through and check every bolt and both pedals until everything is completely tightened. Twist at the bars, push on the levers, attempt to twist the saddle. Nothing should move. Now it's time to pump up those tires. We suggest keeping your tires at 85 psi at all times. Finally, the drop test. Make sure there is minimal rattle and everything stays in place. If you have any questions, concerns, or if something doesn't feel quite right, reach out to us or see our other online tutorials. And voila! Me, you, and a stranger named Dan just assembled a handsome Fredward bike. Time to ride!